Hi everyone. I'm really excited to welcome you all to the new format of this webinar. We are launching UNAX Talks. The idea is to take the time to discuss training topics with field experts in a relaxed mode. Uh, so just before to start, as to put you in context, all people are muted, but you can ask any question down in the question tabs. We'll take the time to answer those at the end of the webinar. During the webinar session, you will see some question appearing on your screen. It's normal. We try to make it interactive, so you will have a polls where you can give your feedbacks on the different topics we are getting through, and which will be maybe had a lot of input for the question part. So today, for this first section of UNAX Talks, I'm really excited to welcome you, Vitaly. You work at ID Finance. We're gonna talk about the future of the lending industry. As you know, consumer finance is a very dynamic market in Spain and Europe. Uh, Lending industry has transformed drastically over the years, in the last decade at least, getting from brick and mortar businesses to fully online business. And you experience that, so your input on that will be very, very interesting. So I'm honored to welcome you, Vitaly, for this session. And please, maybe as a good start, I'll let you introduce yourself.
Yeah, thanks, Thibaut. Thanks, Thibaut. Hey, everybody. Yeah, so I'm really pleased to have this webinar today. Thanks the Unix team for inviting us for this session. Yeah, let me have a brief introduction of myself. So my name is Vitaly. Yeah, I'm working as a country business manager for ID Finance Spain. So overall, I'm working with ID Finance already 7 years. Yeah, I've been starting as the IT manager, then working with the product itself, and finally now I'm on the managing position. Yeah, so I have very good overview of the technological platforms, of the business itself, upside down from the small operations, and finishing with the budgeting and the execution of the strategies. Yeah, so overall, I also have previous experience with the banks around 5 years, mainly focused on the credit card business, and also some experience with the anti-money laundering, doing which banks are doing. That is about myself. Yeah. So talking about the ID Finance. Hopefully, most of the participants know the company. Yeah, so we are working on the Spanish market already for 7 years. So we have launched our first product, which is Money Man, in 2015. So and from that moment, have been constantly developing it and challenging the market. Yeah, so at the end of the day, from the previous year onwards, we are taking one of the leading positions on the short-term lending and online lending in the Spanish market. Yeah, so we are very proud of the results, and we are keep developing this direction in all possible ways. And also, it's important to mention that according to what we will discuss also today, it's about the future. Yeah, it's also about the very trending things about the neobanks and about challenging the different spheres of what traditional banks are actually doing. I'm mainly talking about providing the debit card, providing the accounts for the customers, and providing the normal retail products that actually banks do. So for this matter, ID Finance have launched during the previous year the Plaza brand, which is a debit and credit card facility that we are offering for the customers. And all in all, at the moment, we have there around 100K of customers within the Plaza. And talking about overall our lending experience, all in all, we have processed for the whole history almost 10 million of the credit applications. So quite a lot of data have passed through our hands. Quite a lot of things have been done through the past years. Yeah, and like I'm really happy to share with some of the highlights where we think the market is right now and like where it is moving.
Yeah, but so yeah, ID Finance is a real big player in lending space in Spain and over the world. Also, you are present in LATAM. There, we've been working for like more than 2 years now together. But maybe can you explain what's your typical customer profile? Uh, and how are you reaching? Yeah, how you position ID Finance into the market?
Okay, so like in terms of the customer's profile, it's normally relatively young people. Yeah, so the average age of the profile, I would say, it's like around 30, 35 years. So those people normally have some kind of average income, like according to the Spain. So it is between like 1K up to 1.5K net per month. Yeah, if we're talking about the Spain. And those customers are really like want to get products instantly. Yeah, so they are like evaluating and like giving a like good recognition of the fact and of the speed of delivery of the services that we are doing comparing to the what it not we only but all the fintechs are doing comparing to the traditional banks. Yeah, so there are like some numbers out of the head that normally our average onboarding process for the customer, yeah, to get like fully onboarded with all the data collected and processed, it normally take us not more than 10 minutes. Yeah, so like figure out how it is comparable for the traditional banks where you need normally go to the branch, you need to pass the application, and if it is about some lending, so it would take you like not even minutes, it would take you a days or probably weeks to get somewhere and to get the product. And what we also are like listening from our customers in terms of what they're really evaluating is like this like fully online process. Yeah, so at the moment we have it fully automated, like basically like zero manual intervention on all the stages, starting from the data collection and ending up with the decision making and money transfer. Yeah, which we are working with Unix, and which is providing us like one of the facilities like to deliver the money. So, and this instant delivery of money like is very valued by the customers, and like they're what we see that beside of their like some other factors, yeah, they are really want like to have money quick in some urgent things, yeah, and we are making that possible, yeah. So to get some money in like within like 10 minutes.
Yeah, we've seen that over the last year. To know maybe where we are going, maybe we should look at where we're coming from. With like almost 10 years in ID finance, and you've seen the volume growing up month to month, year to year. Basically, my impression on the market today is that we were like years ago with shops trying to open in the strategic place to be accessible anytime on open days, on work days to people. Now, lending space have been fully online to be accessible 24/7 every day of the year from the customer. Now we see appearing the embed finance and the new trend, which is like being embed as a third party into an e-commerce website sometimes, or into other native apps, into a mobile phone. So people always like strategic player try to be always closer to their customer, to be there at the right place at the right time, to and try to provide the best user experience. What you've been, what was the most impactful thing you've seen evolving in the last years into the lending industry?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the like for what was kind of the main factors of like of the scale and improving the business for us, it's definitely the customer's experience. Yeah, so it was very important to cover all the possible online platforms. Yeah, starting with the normal like web application and ending up with the native mobile applications. Yeah, because like many like I mean every day like many customers are moving from the web to mobile applications, and they're kind of very get used to work with that. So that one of the parts, and that take us quite a long time to optimize all the funnels, all the acquisition strategies, yeah, and optimize all our like providers and get rid completely from any manual intervention, yeah. And one of the key things and milestones that we have surpassed during the past year is that we have completely stopped any manual intervention to the like decision-making process in terms of the money issuance. Yeah, so right now with the overall like relatively online and short onboarding process, we also have fully online decision-making engine, which is taken normally like decision about the loan in a couple of minutes. Yeah, and as soon as the decision is taken, the customer normally getting an SMS immediately from his bank that money is already delivered. Yeah, so it's like extremely fast. Yeah, and extremely convenient for the customer. So, and that's the key. That's the key for us, like to have and not to lose the customers during the onboarding. Yeah, just like not to make them bored while they're completing all the application. Yeah, with a lot of details, and it is very like important to give to the customer proper message about motivate him to do all the step by step, and especially for some critical and sensitive data like open banking. Yeah, so you like need to really explain well for the customer why he needs that, and how that would impact on the final decision and final loan approved for the customer.
So you've seen like the time from the request to the money in the pocket, if I can say that this way, of the end user, reducing in time by processing the loan automatically in terms of decision making, then sending the money instantly wherever he is. So yeah, that's a lot of speed. It's like speed was an actual key success KPI, I think, to reduce this time. Today, in terms of context, we are getting like a lot of inflation, like we are like entering into crisis mode. How you do feel for you? Inflation, is it a risk or an opportunity? Because there is two. It's a double-edged sword. Basically, you have like more demand, but you will have also more arrears. So how you see that on your side?
Yeah, I mean, like about these macro things which are now going on the Spanish market and overall, I would say Europe Union, is about the fact that the inflation is growing. Yeah, even though like official numbers sometimes they're like around like one digit. Yeah, like but in the real life we see that some prices are like growing by two digits. Yeah, like just like more than 10% over the year. And what does it mean? It means that like our customers who are like not the most rich people of the country, definitely. For them, it's even more tough to make the ends between their income dates, and like with all this grown pressure. So there is a risk of the delinquency growing, and for sure, like traditional banks are like encountering that and starting to optimize their credit policies and risk appetite that they have for the lending. So and this is kind of an opportunity, yeah, for the fintechs, because fintechs are working always within like higher constraints than actually banks do. Yeah, we are working with the seen customers profile, so we don't have the luxury of the like current account data like available all the time. We don't have some other like things which actually like make the banks like hands open to like offer and evaluate the customer. But at the same time, like some big segments that banks would be cutting from their portfolios, those segments would definitely come to the online lending. And that's kind of an opportunity for the market growth. But at the same time, we should be very careful with the risk appetite on our end, yeah, because would be in this time, I believe it would be extremely important to offer the customer the product he can serve, yeah, and to offer like the pricing and the amount of the loan which is matching to the, I would say, customer's profile, yeah. So in this matter, we would need to rely a lot on the open banking data that we are getting and some other unconventional data sources, like which are helping to identify the fraud, which are helping to identify high indebtedness, even though that in Spain the positive credit bureau is just like absent, yeah, so we don't have this data. But there are like other options, like how we can tackle that. And like in this time, it would be extremely important. Yeah, like from my experience and talking about, for example, about 2020, yeah, when COVID came, so everybody was like very afraid, like changing the policies, like I mean, Edifiance was the same. So at the end of the day, like we have been able to change the policies like almost instantly, because we have our own like native platform, IT platform, which we can manipulate as we want. And basically, what we have seen that our like risk performance it's haven't like deteriorated, vice versa, it have improved. Yeah, and to give us even more data, like how actually customers are performing. And after like a month or a couple of months of like some additional restrictions in the risk appetite, we have been able to unwind back to the previous levels and even win the market comparing where we have been before the COVID. So it's always these stress situations for the people and for the economy of the country. It's always for someone it's always like a stress and like losses, but at the same time it's like the period of opportunities. Yeah, if you want to win the market, because like the shares and the distribution will definitely change.
Change is always an opportunity. It's also complicated. If you handle it well, if you're able to react quickly and anticipate things, that could be an opportunity. And how do you see the rise of interest rates? Is it something which is affecting you, or you forecast this as a problem or not?
In terms of interest rates, I would say that like like fintechs, like or like ourselves, we would not would like to go for this way, yeah, like to increase the pricing to eliminate the risks. Like I believe that like the better strategy in this way would be actually to like to tackle the risk part, yeah, because I expect really that demand would not drop. Yeah, vice versa, we should see kind of increasing demand here, and for us, that means that we would have more opportunity in terms of the like the approval rates and how many customers basically we are finally issuing. But we would have just like more bigger number of customers, yeah, so we can allow ourselves to like lose some of those, yeah, but keep the risk level at the same. Because pricing, I believe for the short-term lending, it is very stable. So, and with the top players, we are like, I'm pretty sure like every one of the top players of the market benchmarking themselves over the rest of the market. And what we see that the pricing is very consistent. Yeah, and if you will increase the pricing and the market stays where it's at, then you are just like off the market. And that's not the scenario that we are considering for ourselves.
It's by the way, we've been like triggering a poll based on how you people see the inflation in the actual context, because it's short-term feature, I say. So let's get some input on that, and we review that during the Q&A. But basically, so short-term context, so inflation and interest rate is not a real problem. Long term, if we are like thinking like 2 years from now, there is like the big trend around embedded finance. It's like analysts are saying it's one of the biggest market for the next 10 years. We see it rising up every time, mostly into something called buy now, pay later. Um, it's something like trying to be positioned everywhere into a third-party website. Do you see it as an opportunity? What's your take on buy now, pay later? What's your point of view on this?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like that's kind of a trendy and fancy thing for like I believe like last couple of years in terms of the fintech market. So like all in all, yeah. So we're considering that as a good acquisition channel, yeah, to make the customers and make them onboarded, yeah, and then make and upsell other products to them, because BNPL business itself it's like very challenging to make it profitable. Yeah, so if like to run the BNPL business on its own, because like relatively you're offering like free products. Yeah, either you need to have a very strong market position so you can get some revenue from the directly from the vendors, yeah, or from the sellers, or like you would like have big issues, yeah, with your like profitability and with the kind of long-term run of the business. But as an acquisition channel, yeah, it looks like, I mean, as a very good working thing, yeah, which we might try to do. The point is that eventually it's not something invented from the scratch, because in the different way, like banks are already doing that, and also like fintechs also like doing that, even though it's not called as a buy now pay later, right? So, for example, on the Spanish market, I believe it's already kind of a gold standard for the last like 5 years or even more, that before customer is going for the paid products, he is offered the free product, so that he can like get the money for free, check it out, like how the process works, like to see what is like the user experience, to see that there is like no hidden fees or anything, that the product is predictable, and customers actually buying that. So and that's kind of same story as with BNPL, but kind of BNPL is just like different point of sale, because you are not trying to sell the financial product itself, rather you are giving this product together with the goods that actually customers are buying. And when somebody is like buying something and you're offering him like to split the payments and without the actual price increase, I mean, it works well. Yeah, so but this is definitely as a hook for the customer, yeah, to get his data, to involve him like basically to the interaction with the company. So, and later like to upsell some other services and make some other products for this customer. But all in all, as soon as people like it, yeah, so we cannot definitely go like against of that. They like it, yeah, they like it, and they are ready to provide their own data and go for that. So that's definitely kind of an opportunity.
Yeah,
But like now fintechs actually offering the same, and now I see that like the banks and fintechs, all of those are like offering these split payments things. So it's already, you don't even need to have a merchant anymore offering that. You just open your online bank, you can split the payment.
yeah.
So it's just like different ways how to do that. But all in all, like as acquisition tool and to win the market, that was like the bright idea, and definitely it like the companies who have started that got the leverage on that.
As you said, it's a good opportunity but and by the way, another question to say if you are to ask if you are interested in buy now pay later for the one which is looking the webinar right now. As you say, maybe a good opportunity to acquire a new customer. It's a new channel, but maybe at the end, because it has been a crowded place in very short time, so checkout buttons in websites start to have like many options, and basically maybe there is a way to be a bit closer to the customer, to be like the bank account of the customer. Like that, you can build a relationship around this, like the neo-banking pattern, by providing a bank account with a debit card to maybe give some financial services directly into the account. Uh, is maybe a way to build a tighter customer link. So what you, and we are hearing more and more about this pattern. What's your take about this neo-banking trend, which is not started much now, but we see it like more and more?
No, I believe that neo-banking trend it have started very like I would say aggressive during the couple of past years. So we see like some very good showcases about like starting the neo-bank kind of like almost from the scratch, yeah, and getting like tremendous result. Same as there are like several examples when the original lenders they have been like transforming the business finally to the neo banks. So and that those use cases are successful. I mean, not there are not these use cases on the Spanish market, yeah, but globally, if you take a look on the United States to the United Kingdom, there are examples of how that works. And as soon as like all the other businesses and lenders see like the model and how it is working, so it definitely becomes it like the mainstream where to go. And from the ID finance side, we're like tackling that with this Plaza product that we have launched. So we are trying to be closer to the customers, yeah, to help them with their day-to-day needs, yeah, and have basically like both beneficial workflow, yeah. So we have more data about the customer while he's working with us, and we are able to offer like cheaper and better products for this customer comparing to what like traditional banks are doing, and keep challenging them. So because like for the fintech and for us, one of the main KPIs, and I hope it's not a secret for anybody, is like how sticky is the customer, yeah, with the product, yeah. So it's about the retention. So how long you can work with the product, how many like loans or how many of other products you can upsell and sell for the customer through his lifetime, yeah. And basically this neo-bank topic is helping to have a different level of retention and different level of involvement of the customer and keep the customers longer with you. That's kind of the first part. Also, what is important is that having the customer kind of in your pocket, yeah, and providing him like basic financial and banking services, you can always know what is the financial situation for this customer. So, and you can like offer other products if it is kind of a wealthy customer and he doesn't need any like the moment some help with like financials, then it's about to help with investment, yeah. So and it's one more time, it's both beneficial for the fintechs. It's another one big source of revenue, yeah, to gain, and for the customers, they are also kind of looking for that. Because if, for example, to look to the traditional banks, it's not relatively easy to start investing money, for example, to the crypto or to the stock markets. So it's kind of a hell to pass all the steps, KYC, sign all the papers. It takes time. And with the fintechs, it works much better. So you just have your account and you click a couple of buttons and a couple of consents, and here you are. You already can be an investor. Yeah. At the same time, it's the same with the lending. Yeah. If the customer is kind of in a difficult situation, and we see that there is like a cash gaps between the incomes, like like salary incomes or some other, yeah, we can support the customer with like short-time lending or with the traditional credit cards lending, that customer would not have any issues with the cash on his account at any time. And also like as soon as we have access to like customers data when he's doing transactions, and also customer can give right now, thanks to the open banking, we can get access also to all the accounts of the customer and aggregate this data. We can make some relevant suggestions for this customer in terms of like how probably to save some money, in terms of the cashbacks, Yeah, because like for the customer to look for separate discounts with each single merchant, it's kind of a headache. Not everybody is ready to spend time for that. But when you have the card, which is giving you instantly some savings, yeah, and these savings on the monthly and yearly perspective are coming to some relevant amounts. So customers are like valuing that, and it's helping a lot. And also just like to finish
Yeah, no,
one.
yeah, being part of a daily customer journey, you can be the super app of a user. You can aggregate all his bank account like a PFM into one single place. And what's a specific topic I wanted to talk about, like financial education. How important is it for you? How you see that? What needs to be done to your point of view into financial education space?
In terms of the financial education, I think like fintechs and banks are the first who are interested in that. Because as a matter of fact, the financial education is reducing the risks, like working with this customer, because he can take wisely decisions in terms of the like products that he is consuming. And actually that we can also see from our experience that people who are like know what they are doing and what for they are taking money specifically to spend, yeah, so like normally they are performing very well and they are not at any stage going to the delinquency. So explaining to the customer like what are the potential, like I don't know, cash flow issues he has at the moment and suggesting some options how he can fix it. Like for example, like to have this um, like connection between the fintechs and the like job offer like websites. Yeah, we can also like have a good collaboration. Yeah, because if somebody is like missing like a couple of €100 and like instead of taking the loan, yeah, probably there is an option like to have a kind of side hustle, yeah, to find like quick job like I don't know, like global or whatever, where he can gain some money and improve the situation. And that would be like there is no party which would not leverage on that, like because the lender would still like could ensure that all the products and debts would be served by this customer, and customer would not take like the indebtedness which he can't serve, and that is very important, yeah, because here we come into the responsible lending, because responsible lending
Yeah.
it's not only about kind of social responsibility, which is also important, yeah, but it's also responsibility about long-term like business strategy that you have, because like we are coming back here to the retention and to the customer's happiness, yeah. As long as the customer is happy and he's feeling he's treated well, yeah, and he don't have any questions, or like he's I don't know, like he's satisfied overall with the quality and with the service, he would be sticky to you. And on the long term, like it is both beneficial, like for the customer and also for the fintechs, because there are like different horizons of planning. Yeah, if to take a look, for example, for some short-term planning of 1 year, probably it's not that straightforward actually. That what is better, yeah, like educate customer or not. But if to take a look to the horizon of 5 years, then it's definitely all the questions actually go away. So you clearly understand that better you explain the product to the customer, better you like understand what customer actually needs, and like better you can offer the product which is exactly fitting to the customer needs and customer like capacity, let's say, more sustainable your business will be. And that's one of the like main kind of strategies and directions that we are trying always to stick and follow up when we are doing some planning.
That's a good take because, like, basically, yeah, the cost of acquisition today in terms of new customer is pretty high. So getting some customer which are not that wealthy, like subprime, and helping them to scale in time is a good strategy to have a win-win partnership with your end customer. No,
Yeah, I think
that's
yeah, that's very important. And I think like a couple of words here also about well, I believe one of the things which are every lender or any new fintech is facing on the Spanish market, particularly that is about this customer's scene profile, that you actually don't have enough data for the customer, right, to take a proper decision. And the ways to gain it are just the following. So you can either get the data from the open banking, which is not all the customers actually tend and happy to provide. Yeah, so it's still a long road to educate people that this kind of data is something very standard and normal to share. Yeah, once you want to hire like financial services. So the other way is to start building the credit history on your own, yeah, for this customer, and that's why kind of this BNPL and also some other free products which are used for as a marketing tools. Those products are also used as kind of the first step to build the internal customer credit history. So, and as long as you can build this credit history, so you would take the better decisions. Because like transactional data, like from the open banking, it makes a huge difference, but also like your own and having visibility on the what is actually the positive credit history of the customer, it's changing the picture even more. So it's like two main things, yeah, that you can play actually within the today's Spanish market, and all in all, like in terms of opportunities, yeah, I believe that if at some stage we would go and get in Spain like the positive credit history, that would be also a strong factor to develop the market and to have more players and have more kind of sustainable lending. Because right now, all the lenders are facing the same issue. They don't know clearly what is their current indebtedness load for the customer, and that's one of the key things which, like in other countries, normally always like the fintechs and banks are evaluating. They are getting like understanding what are the current debts of the customer. They are getting understanding what is the current like income of the customer, and having those two things, you can take a wise decision. Yeah. So, and there are even like recommendations, like if you're talking about some other countries, there are like even some strict recommendations from the central banks, which are declaring clearly that the indebtedness could not be higher than this threshold. So right now, it is not something we have in Spain, so we need to elaborate it on our own. But it's very important, like, and all the kind of actions in terms of the data or any new data sources which would help to understand that is very, very valuable for the lender.
Yeah, basically you have like all the customer history, behavior, data. So then you can like, and he's already onboarded, so you can like do some healthy recommendation in terms of financial behavior. Plus, it could be one click button to add like enter into saving, investing mode with other services directly into the app. Basically, what you were talking about regulation from Europe. For me, what could be for you the next big challenge for lenders in the next year, in the coming years? What do you see coming? What are the black clouds?
Yeah, I mean, like it's not also something new and something like obviously bad to happen. I would consider like the regulation of the market is rather like good news. Yeah. So because at the moment the truth is that particularly in the Spanish market, the products and like offered by the fintechs are actually like the different things which comparing to what was previously regulated by laws in Spain, and the current law that is now in power is like more than 20 years ago. No, sorry, it's like 2008, right? So it's like 2008, but like still the speed of fintech development in the recent like 5 years, it was incredible. And right now we're lagging like a lot in terms of the regulation and in terms where we are in, and which products we are offering. And that is putting some level of uncertainty to the business, because the regulation at some stage they will definitely come, because we have seen that on the other markets within the Europe Union and outside of the Europe Union. And the point would be like to understand these regulations yeah, like upfront. Also, if possible, to make some impact on those regulations through the open dialogue with actually the people who would adapt and who would like make this new regulation. It's very important to have this contact and explain them about the products, explain them about the sector, like to have some like more expected results, I would say, about the regulation. But all in all, once the regulation is in place, it would like free up hands for the business scale even more, because when the rules of the game are defined, then there would just like the pure competition about like the product, yeah, that you have, and about the quality that you are serving your customers. And at the same time, it would unlock for the lenders, it would unlock the markets of the capital, yeah, to
Yeah.
hire more capital, because if the rules are defined well, and you have the predictability for the next like 5-10 years, then like some institutional investors, they are coming into the game, and that would help also to elaborate the pricing, because institutional investor invest like funding is normally much cheaper, yeah, than the other sources, and also like the quality of the services and the volumes of the services provided, it would help to grow for that. So all in all, right now, I believe that for the last years we have been working like in this environment, like 7 years. It is pretty much stable, yeah, and it is self-regulated, because all the top lenders on the market, they are like uh, doing the responsible lending, because everybody understands that like we should have like the healthy environment here. Other way around, it's the story for a couple of years, yeah. So, and we want to stay on the market like for a long time and long perspective. And also, I believe that all lenders right now is kind of also like preparing in this or that way. They are preparing to the regulation that might come in the next like 3-4 years. It's
Yeah.
definitely not something that is coming like tomorrow, because it takes quite a relevant amount of time to pass through all the like bureaucracy and other things. But that's something I believe good about the regulation.
PSD3 is under discussion for the open banking space. Uh, what do you wish to see in the coming version from the open banking rules in Europe?
Yeah, I mean about the open banking, it's I think it's the funny thing, yeah, because it was declared like several years ago about this PSD2 and about open banking, that banks have to share the data, but as a matter of fact, this PSD2 doesn't work well, yeah, because banks are not really interested
Okay.
to have universal APIs to provide the like good quality or and speed of the service, and that doesn't work well, yeah. So I believe that further steps that regulator and Europe Union would take is to make this thing really working, to learn the lessons, yeah, that like passed through the last years, what have not been working well, and in terms of that, and then apply these recommendations. But it also would take, let's say, next 5 years, yeah, to make everything arranged and have like something universal and like clear in terms of the accessibility and in terms of the like rules of the game, right? So, but at the moment, we have, fortunately, we have the companies like Unix and some other players which are like tackling these open banking things through other technology options that are in place. So, and that's helping a lot actually, so that we don't need to rely only on the PSD2, because yeah, it's not a secret that banks are not big fans of that, and they are not like trying to keep their APIs and their availability on the high level. So they're just doing some bare minimum, and after that, just like nothing. Yeah. So, and that's why now there are like some other options how to work with that.
Perfect. And for you, what could be the driving the growth of the lending industry tomorrow? Yeah, more data, better regulation. What else?
Yeah, I mean, like in terms of the like on the high level, yeah, it's about the regulation, which we have discussed. More data, like always, like more data is highly appreciated, And in terms of the things which are already on the market, and I believe that would make some impact or already making some impact, is that now we see that there is some data about the tax payments of the customer. Customers become available, so it works similar to the open banking. Basically, customers can give an access with the Clave PIN to their like tax authorities, so we can see clearly like what is the history of the customer in terms of his employment, what are the social taxes have been paid, and having the social taxes, we clearly know what is the income of the customer and how stable is their like workplace for this particular customer. So that's of like kind of something new which is coming for during this year, because relatively for the previous 2-3 years there were like nothing new, in terms of the data points, and like we have been struggling to find something and checking like I don't know, probably dozens of different providers with the data. But as a matter of fact, no game changers were on the market. Right now, we are really keen on to see how this tax thing would work. So and if it would help us to understand the income of the customer. That's first. And second, I believe that now companies would also focus a bit more in terms of the QIC on how they are onboarding the customers, because it's kind of also important. There are some like requirements from the regulators about the email and regarding the overall like fraud prevention. And now with the KYC, it's kind of a challenge for the Spanish market, because customers not yet used to pass the KYC process. And to be fair, like the KYC process is like, it is different, like from one fintech to another one fintech, and even like to the government services. This KYC process is not standardized, and it is like challenging, and the technology is still imperfect. So I believe that like next like years, like the whole Europe Union and like would come to the same direction, because like as we see in some North European countries, they have like this on the government level, the KYC is done, and everybody has their own like tokens. They can identify themselves very well and get access in a second. So that would be also kind of one of the game-changing things. So because it would streamline the onboarding process. So once we would have some kind of provider about the QIC, that customer can come to us, tell us, hello, this is I am. So that's my, basically that's my token. And by this token, we would not ask any more other questions from this customer. We just immediately know who is that and what is the person, where is he living, and so on and so forth. That would simplify everything for the customers, and also for the fintechs, because onboarding process probably it would be shortened like 2 times or 3 times. So basically, customer would just need to make up to 10 clicks, and boom, he is already kind of onboarded and he's using the new service. And customers really they don't like to pass the registration. They don't like to ask a lot of questions, answer a lot of questions, and like just treating as myself. So when somebody is showing me the questionnaire for 20 or 30 questions, just like I'm immediately feeling bored. So and I don't have any enthusiasm or motivation to pass through. And these things which would kind of making the life easier would simplify everything.
In terms of user experience, would be amazing, and to have a standard provided with by the government, basically to have something which is trusted and standard in the market would be awesome. And yeah, user experience is always the strategic point to improve, because that make your customer coming back because he liked your service. They're telling me we have few minutes left before jump out, to have time for question. What do you want to add in terms of because we've talked about financial education, the future. What's important to have in mind for you for the coming years? Do you want
I think I would come back to the point that we have raised before. So fintechs, while like through the history, what we have been doing, we have been focusing on some particular products that we have been offering for the customer, but I don't think like we can like keep doing that, yeah, like in this way, because we are trying to challenge the banks, and the banks are also, they are not staying at place. Yeah, they are moving, they are slow, but they are moving, and we should like develop the services we are providing, and like the key of success would be like to make the customer sticky to your brand, to your service, and make customer happy. So, and to make all this happen, you need to provide to the customer not only the products which are making you revenue, and not only the products which are profitable, but also provide the products which are interesting for the customer, which are useful for the customer, and which are like impacting the overall financial health of the customers when they are like interacting with finance. Yeah, because it's true that a lot of people are like, they're not well educated and they don't really understand how the money works, and making and like educating them and making them working with your product, having everything simple, yeah, for to explain, that is the key. Yeah, as soon as the like even the kid of like 3 years would be able to understand, actually as soon as the kid is know like something about the numbers, like at 5 years or at 4 years, he would be able to open like the open banking and understand that, oh, okay, this is like the nice diagram, so I can see how many food I have bought. I can see how many, like probably gasoline I have like filled to my tank. So we need to come to closer like to the day-to-day activities of the people, and not try to go for the complex things. I mean, complexity is never appreciated by the like by the big range of the people. So more simple you can explain your product, more like simple the onboarding process, and clear, like let's say the pricing, and clear how to work with this product is better for the customer. So, and that's what actually they are evaluating. I mean, all the customers are evaluating. I mean, even myself. Yeah. So if I go for, I don't know, something not related to the finance and like whatever, and somebody is starting to explain me in the words that I would never understand, yeah, well, I would spend like a month or a couple of weeks to understand what is that. So it's not the case. Yeah. So I believe that all the fintechs need to aim about the transparency and help customers like I mean, to work with their day-to-day activities, and not demand a lot of time from them to understand how that works.
Yeah. So Vitaly, uh, that's a great input. Maybe so we in the chat we're gonna see if there is some question. Before that, we're gonna trigger also the poll about what's your challenge you're facing. Maybe like that we can take it in consideration uh, to answer to talk about this too. So what are the challenges you are facing today as a lender? What are the questions we can answer? And also, do you plan to jump into buy now pay later, into neo banking, or something else as an input? It could be interesting. Let me jump into the poll. Okay. Yeah, I don't have the screen. Check. Hold on. Exploring oil today, Livestorm. First time we're using it. It's a great platform. But maybe Italy, if we coming back on user experience. So onboarding is a thing which have to be frictionless. Maybe it should be always done, because like as a neobank, maybe also it's one click button like in Amazon to add extra services. You have like the scoring like up and running 24/7 in few seconds. Uh, offer personalization looks to be in your roadmap to do some recommendation, personalized recommendation to your customers. How you see uh, the future? What is the next technical challenge you want to improve at ID Finance? What would be your focus for the next month or years in terms of tech stack?
Mhm. Yeah, we are strategically we're gonna work and keep putting a lot of focus on our neobank development direction, which is actually Plaza, because we see that as a future where we're like working on, and in terms of the offering kind of technical issues that we would need to tackle, it's the point about the QIC, as I mentioned, because now it's kind of a pain point for the customer. It's not easy to pass, and like we would need to improve that definitely. Also, with the open banking, I believe that there is a big chunk of work for all the market still to explain better for the customers what is that, how it works, and how it could be useful for the customer in day-to-day needs, not only in terms of the loan application, but also in terms of understanding like where is the drain of the budget, or understand like how to save some money, or like to get some money earned like outside of the taking a new loan. And also like the thing which is, I think it's kind of also kind of a gold standard, that you should offer to the customer very tailored products, and those products should be available for the customer like in a couple of clicks, because what is very clear that once you're offering the product, for example, like a loan, and customer is like applying for this product and finally doesn't get it because of the high risk, yeah, so customer is becoming like extremely disappointed. Yeah, so it is important to offer to the customer and evaluate the customer upfront to know which products are available for him, and which he can take like in a second. Yeah, having when you have the product like under your hand, that you can do that and start using that in 2 clicks. That's the key. So as long as we have all the transactions from the customer, we have more data about the customer, and we have day-to-day activities with the bank account with the customer. So it is enabling us actually to offer this kind of tailored products, and avoid any kind of disappointment from the customer side. So I would say that's the key. That's the key, and that's what we would need to tackle. And we have been working on this direction for the like entire like experience of the ID finance, but there is still like a big part of work to be done, because we see some good success stories and success cases on the other markets. So at least we need to like learn from that, and also to get something new, like what we can get particularly from Spain.
We are well placed to know how much text part is challenging. We try to provide easy API to integrate and support all our customer slash partners into this, because building a banking experience ecosystem is not an easy catch. So yeah, we try to help into this. Vitaly, it has been an honor having this talk with you today. Thanks a lot for your inputs, because I think it will be like uh, helping people to uh, contrast their strategy, contrast their context with yours, see if they are heading the same direction, if they are facing the same challenges, because fintech is moving fast. Yeah, sharing this information is important to move even faster. And it was an honor to have this talk with you today. Thanks a
Yeah,
lot.
thank you, Thibaut. Thank you for inviting. Yeah, I'm also happy to like share and like get some feedback. about like how we see the strategy, how we see the market, like where it goes. Yeah, because the truth is always like more you give, more you receive. Yeah, so that's always like the strategy also on our end. So for the all the participants, or like if you would have any questions, or like want to have some, I don't know, doubts or personal contacts, like feel free to ping me directly. Yeah, so we can chat at any time. Yeah, and with you, Timo, like if there are anything else, so also happy to discuss.
Perfect. Thanks, Vitaly. Thanks everyone for attending this webinar first version. I hope you liked it. We'll send a thank you email to everyone which registered. They can access the replay with a link directly into the email. We're gonna have like a Spanish subtitle in the next weeks, coming weeks. So if you want to watch it again, you also will have it in Spanish with subtitles. Thanks a lot, everyone. Have
Thank
a
you,
nice
everybody.
day. Bye bye.
Bye.